The Frog Princess is a Russian story. Once upon a time, in a large forest in Russia, there lived a king. The king had 3 beautiful daughters, but as he grew older, he began to think that it was time to marry them. Then the king said to his daughters, "I will give an arrow to each one, and let it go to the place where the arrow fell, and pick a flower in that place. Let's marry the one who brings the most wonderful flowers." Each of the 3 daughters took an arrow in their hands and shot it. The eldest daughter's arrow fell into a beautiful garden, and the second daughter's arrow fell into a gorgeous forest. However, the youngest third daughter, Maria's arrow, fell into a muddy swamp with nothing as far as the eye could see. Maria was in trouble and went to the swamp crying. When we arrived at the swamp, there was a frog there. The frog stared at Maria and said, "If you listen to me, I will take you beautiful flowers." Maria was surprised, but decided to do as the frog said. Please tell me. What I ask for is your verbal promise. Take me to your palace and introduce me to the king." Maria thought for a moment, but promised. "Okay, we will take you to the royal palace." Then the frog picked a beautiful flower from the pond and gave it to Maria. Maria returned to the palace with the flower in her hand and reported to the king. The king looked at the flowers of his daughters and was amazed at the beauty of the flowers of the Maria. The eldest and second daughters regretted that their flowers were not chosen, but they were moved by the beautiful Maria flowers. However, the king realized that the frog had not yet arrived. "Your flowers are beautiful, but you promised to bring a frog, didn't you?" Malia nodded and said, "Yes, I'll take the frog to the royal palace." And the next day, Maria called the frog to the royal palace. The king was surprised to see it, but admired Maria's sincerity and courage and welcomed the frog. Then the frog suddenly glowed, changed its appearance, and became a beautiful prince. In fact, this prince was made into a frog by a witch. The prince thanked Mary and told the king, "This girl is my true wife, he helped me." The king was very surprised, but congratulated Mary and the prince on their happy future. The two soon got married, and the kingdom became more and more prosperous. The prince and Maria lived happily. The curse of the prince in the form of a frog was lifted, and the prince always cherished kindness and sincerity. The princess then brought peace and love to the kingdom, and she became a respected figure among people throughout the kingdom. End.